Early morning when I walk through the east, hear the cars on the 5, you can see in the streets what this neighborhood means to a brother. So I'm headed down Santa Barbara for y'all to get the message. You need to see Kevin ride around in his Cutlass, well shooting hoops, but always ready to function. Slide to Alberta's for some grub Balboa. Always got the liquor on deck, don't need a soda. Then I'm walking down Mission, but I go against traffic. I know some people wanted me dead, the shit is tragic. Being out the way for a couple of months, but the shit still in me, I ain't never gon' front. If I leave my son at home, then it's way too high. Spot the opposition in a second of the cops. Something about the gang unit makes me do a double take, but I'm never slipping cause the streets got me wide awake.
I'm gone, please don't reconsider your love for me. If I go now, body cold as winter, finish like I leave.
Women always hitting me up because they want to cuff a nigga with potential. I'm calling they bluff. I never got attention like this in the past as a young gang member who was ready to blast. OPD only wanted me for me, ironically, and now everybody can see the changes that I made cause I ain't out running. Drunk off of E&J, I'm coming from nothing. I slept outside in the park trying to figure out how I'm still here on earth to work some figures out. Put my son to bed, kiss him on his forehead, walk around the city, heard another friend dead. All I could do is pray for the streets, cause God forbid one day it's gonna be me. Lord, take my soul when it's time to go. Until then, I'm trying to live my life on the low.
When I'm gone, please don't reconsider your love for me. If I go now, body cold as winter, finish like I leave. When I'm gone, please don't reconsider your love for me. If I go now, body cold as winter, finish like I leave.
Bitch, ça fait très longtemps que j'y pense à comment se mettre bien, moi j'ai pas ton élan. N'écoute jamais les hontis, c'est que j'acte n'ont pas vu la vie au travers de ton monde. J'ai beau parler dans leur langue, mais faut croire qu'ils n'entendent que le langage de la violence. Je me faufile en bas sans les mains, tu m'as pas vu bégayer quand fallait passer le lent. Sans caracher quand t'as négro, j'ai choisi mes modèles, c'est fiable comme un moteur allemand. En indé sans cara, sans chicot, et je fais qu'écro bien plus que les grands de tes grands. J'étais ma bas, ils sont pas concentrés. J'attends pas la passe, ils peuvent pas s'entrer. Je bande, tout me parle pas de pas années. On n'est pas venu ici pour se pavaner. Remballe ta CGMCC. Je tourne la poignée, je frasse le temps. Je roule comme si quelqu'un m'attend. Puis je cale pétard entre mes dents. Bah ouais. Je sors avec j'fume la peur. Je m'en bats les couilles, c'est dangereux sa mère. Je vois que des parents en fer. Avec un cri, je sors de l'enfer. Sur un gros fer, bah ouais. Je sors avec je m'en bats les couilles, c'est dangereux ça me lève. Je vois que des parents en fer. Avec un cri, je sors de l'enfer. Sur un gros fer, ouais. La crête à focaliser. La haine que je ressens, mes pensées. Dans ce business balisé.
Hot Facts with Robert Reese. This is another one. Late night, midnight podcast. Hot Facts with Robert Reese podcast. People, this is podcast mode right here. We got a lot of stuff we want to talk about, different stuff around the world, what's going on. And in California, out here, our radio stations really crack like this. We got people in the warehouse. If you in the warehouse, you'll catch this on the replay when you take your break, take your lunch. You want to listen to something. A lot of you guys that know who I am, you work in those industries there. And y'all watch it whenever y'all get a chance. But let me give it to y'all when y'all really want to, you know, get it. You be bored at work. You be like, man, I want to listen to something. Ain't nothing on. AM radio sounds like when you was driving the car with your grandma, listen to that dun 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 and all that other stuff. That stuff is outdated. We got a lot of stuff going on today in the world, and we want to talk about what's going on. So what I really want to do right now is get on this. Okay. First black female president. Now, this is crazy because you got to understand how politics works. Okay. We had Obama, which was, the first recognized black president. Okay. We've also had presidents before the presidents that you know. We had the congressional presidents of the United States, and we've had a few black people there. And the first actual congressional president of the United States was a black man. So go ahead and check that out if you need to. Get your research on. Do what you got to do. We got Obama. Okay. Well, first, we had Clinton. Okay. We had Clinton. And Clinton did a lot of things for the inner city, but he also did a lot of harm to the inner city. He signed a lot of things to put people in jail. A lot of you guys know about these things and three strikes and all this other stuff that came from the Clintons. Even though they did good stuff for the inner city, they put a lot of inner city people in jail, in prison. Okay. So you do good, you do bad. George Bush, good, bad. Then they say we need to change. How can we shake up the world? This is not Africa. This is America. Let's go ahead and elect a black president. Now, Al Sharpton ran, few other blacks ran, but ain't no way in the world we go give no authority and rule to Al Sharpton. The other countries will truly not respect that. He's going to want to have a repass after every assassination that goes down around the world. You cannot do that. He's going to want fried chicken, people. He's going to want fried chicken at every single White House dinner. Fried chicken. I love it. But them uppity ups don't want no fried chicken, collard greens, macaroni and cheese, all up in the White House. Al Sharpton still has a shag. How many dudes still have a shag on? And you can't run for president with a shag. So they're never going to let a black guy like that run. Kanye West, big influencer across the world and with the black culture. They said you can wear them space boots and get everyone to buy them. We like that contribution. But we just cannot use you. We don't want you. So what do we have right now? Joe Biden cannot cut it. He's too old. I told you guys that. He's going to have to get stopped by medical something or shut down to where he just has no more control. My man was calling people the wrong names like Chick Hearns. We knew it was time for Chick Hearns to go when he was calling Shaq Kobe and Kobe Shaq. He even called Eddie Jones Magic Johnson in the game, and Magic wasn't even there at that time. Magic was there in 96. Yes, he was. But when he called him that, he was not there. So we knew it was time for Chick to go. Joe Biden had to go. Now we got to look at this. What do we have? We have Trump, who is continuously going to jail for felony charges. Does America want to have the backlash of your president is a criminal over all of Western civilization as the ruler? We cannot have that. We cannot have it. Even though he's good for business, Donald Trump is good for everyone who wants to make more. He shows you the ins and outs. He shows you how we can make it and they have to pay for it. But he also is in support of radicalism. We all had the Capitol building stormed. He set that off. Something else might happen. We don't know if he's the one that's rigging elections. We don't know. But all the chaos that he has, he had Mayor Giuliani. Trump had all that stuff going on. You know, the best lawyer in the world. Trump had all that stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of chaos around that and surrounding that. So do we really want that in the White House? Is what you got to pay attention to. For those of you stepping in, this is Hot Facts with Robert Reese, midnight hour podcast, Hot Facts with Robert Reese podcast. Do we really want that in the White House? Do we really want people to think outside that this is what we got going on here? For goodness sake, we tell people that you come here to America to get the American dream. The American dream is getting your own business and doing this and that and living what they say in the Western world is the best way to live. We don't know if that's true or not, but the United States is a melting pot. You cannot take that out. In the United States of America, we have the most nationalities, mixed ethnicities. We have, I do we have it? Do we have it? The LBGTQ. I'm guessing America is spearheading the largest population. I'm talking about parades and all. I don't know what other countries really do. I don't know what they do, but the United States, you know, LBGTQ, and I do know that I was looking at something in New Zealand, and they're doing their elections, and one of the big issues is that they're going on is pro-life, pro-choice, everything. They're going on with all that. America is kind of spearheading that. They're saying similar things there that we are saying here. They have a lot of people that are for the woman having a choice, but then they have other things put in place that can make things better that we don't have here. And other countries are going, are going through that same thing too, because you got to realize that when you're dealing with one country, all the other countries have to follow suit if they are living in that Western way. So I'm guessing you have to agree with that to even get protection from NATO. I don't know if that's true. Don't take my word from that. But all the other countries seem to follow suit. We have independent countries out there that are doing their thing, but now we're dealing with the woman now in the United States. So dealing with all these woman issues, pro-choice, pro-life, and everything else. Hillary Clinton was not able to get in office, but now the U.S. can do something separate. I was on a podcast and it was the Hot Facts and Eli Mellis podcast. And one of my questions to that podcast host was, what do you think would happen if we had a female president? And I asked him, what do you think would happen if we had a first gentleman instead of a first lady? We had a first gentleman, and then we had the female as the president. So I asked him that then. And right now, people, if Hillary Clinton was not able to get in office and she was Secretary of State for so long and under the tutelage of Colin Powell, she got in there and she was in, but she was never able to get into the White House, even though she ran. Everyone was saying she could be the first one, the first woman president. Then Sarah Palin hopped in there and they thought, well, she can be the first one. She's a Trumper. She can be the first one. But right now, with Joe Biden not being able to do something, Kamala Harris could be the first Black and female president of the United States of America. Now, you got to think about that. What if that actually happened? If she was the first, not only female president, but Black female president. Let's just take a look at this. In America, if that happened, I think you would have more CEO jobs for colored people, meaning anyone of African descent from the Atlantic slave trade. So if you went to Puerto Rico, Haiti, Dominican Republic, if you went to Cuba, if you went to the Virgin Islands, if you went to all of that and you are of color, a lot of CEO jobs would change. I think a lot of women would start trying to run for office because it's just a little change. Like when Queen Latifah did the song UNITY, that had like America on this girl power thing, and then they had Ricky Lake do the Ricky Lake show to continue that back in the 90s. But this would be something that would be remarkable. You got to understand this. Out of the pro-choice and pro-life, she is part Biden, Obama. Would she put more things in place and force things out to put things in? Would that make America great? Would it make America worse? Would white America start saying that why should we care about black single mothers now in America? You got to think about stuff like that. Not only that, since the side is for everyone, and I said people of color, you guys got to know that people of color, slaves went to some of the Hispanic places also. Okay, Portugal and Mexico and all over. That's why you have dark skin. You have Panama, you have dark skin. They're going to say, why should we care about single black moms and people of color, Hispanic or Haitian or whatever else it is? I don't think America would be ready for that. And to be honest, I'll tell you this out of my own thing and what I've been thinking about. If she actually becomes the president and we're talking about civil war, I think that we will have MGTOW men with all the other men who are against it. And it'll form a divide in the country because you already have the black and white thing there. Then you already know about the gun laws and things that she takes away from people in California. Will she do that nationwide? I think a civil war might start because Trump may, hypothetically speaking, don't know if it can or if it will happen. Trump may ignite the crowd again for the Patriots, for the Mavericks out there. We don't know if that'll happen, but someone is going to step in place. I think there's a young hotshot Republican out there that really says, I got the juice. And he wants to run. Questions that bother us or bother them. If he runs, does he beat a black woman running who is in support of LGBTQ? All the way in fair choice of you being able to have the decision as a woman over your body. Can he win over that? And will girl power reign supreme? Do the Republicans want to put somebody up against that? You got to think about the real war that's about to happen. The civil war may not be one that you think, but in certain areas of the United States, it may happen to where you may see looting and violence, white side, black side, all the sides, because every side wants a little piece of the puzzle. If we have a first black female president, people, I'm telling you, they go think that all the staff is going to be black and they're going to ruin America. We got people like, there's a guy out there by the name of JB Gunner. He would hate this so much that if a black person, a black female, because he likes women to be underneath him. So if they put a black woman at that on top, he might feel that there might be some harsh punishments coming through by way of female officers, by way of everything. You got to think about this, y'all. If we get a first black female president, a lot will change for the women in the United States. I'm talking about you might see men walking down the street beating up women for no reason. Women walking down the street with guns, shooting guys. We taking over. It could be the purge. We don't know. Are you ready for it? What does Michael Buffer say? Let's get ready to rumble. It could be one of the biggest fights of all time. And then they're going to say, is this great for America? Or should we make America great again? You got to think, if someone is a female and they get the lesbian vote, If you get the lesbian vote, you're automatically going to get all the gay vote, and that's the men. You're automatically going to get all the drag queen votes. All of them. I'm talking about all of them. All those shows that come on, what's that? There's a satellite channel that's there's two of them. One is with an L or I forget the names. Those channels will support whoever's running, will have the money to back them, and all of that. And all of that. You will get that. Now check this out. There is someone in the name or in the area of New York City, Hispanic person by the name of Ceci. And over some things going on, if we have a black president, I wanted to ask her, what if we had an Hispanic president? How would the United States change? She says here on Hot Facts that we talk about stupid things. I would like to get from a Hispanic person who has a background and heard her speaking with someone that was Dominican about the plantains and the food and everything else that you got to cook and make. I would like to hear her thoughts on what would that do for the Hispanic culture. Also, I would like to ask, and I will get into some conversation about this, the role of the Hispanic woman in the house because of the American society with money, corporations, and women getting out there to work. I want to know how that role has changed in America, how you see it. And also, I would like to know, why do we have a shortage of Hispanic women trying to run for major political spots? And I would like to know that from Ceci, because she says here on Hot Facts, we speak about stupid things. People, I have a degree in kinesiology, nutritionist. I've gone through so many separate things: sales manager, sales trainer, sales conductor, uh, customer service, marketing, face-to-face, everything. I've worked with special populations, taken many psychology courses in many different angles that can benefit me and have me ready for any conversation or discussion. Whoever wants to get in, I can have it. So I would like to ask, you can click the link if you're on, or someone's put that message out that I want to talk about that. I'll talk about it tonight. You guys can go ahead and clip this, send that to her, because I'm talking about the first black female president. I'm pretty sure Kamala Harris knows, and we're in California, some Hispanic people that may want to say, hey, I can be what do you think about having the first black president as a woman and the vice president is a Hispanic woman? What if we had two women running the United States from California, pro everything? What if that were to be? What if that were to be? You got to start thinking, people. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything. Just think about this. We would not be eating cows if the white man did not come and kill all the buffalo that the Indians were eating. They killed millions of buffalo. We will be eating buffalo and not cow here. Anything can happen. Just think about that. That is historical. That is historical. Anything can happen. Just think about that. What if we were eating buffalo and not cow? What if we have the first black female president and we have the first Hispanic female vice president? Just imagine that. All these men in the United States, man, just think about all the generals in the military, the commander-in-chiefs, both of them would be a woman. It would have to take for like 4 or 5 people to get killed for even one of those men to be like, commander-in-chief. All those men would have to take a back seat to women. Now, tell me how you think the world will be ran, or at least the United States will be ran, because I'm gonna tell you this. I think Kamala Harris is all about girl power. That's what my aunties say, and I think I believe them. They don't want her in because she's black, because they caught her dancing to Earth, Wind, and Fire at a barbecue. What black people ain't dancing or moving their feet to Earth, Wind, and Fire at a barbecue? Some white people said that. Like, look, she's dancing to Earth, Wind, and Fire. What you on, Conway Twitty? We ain't playing spoons. We ain't playing some two white people left, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. We ain't playing spoons on our thigh. One came back. One was mad, but they came back. We ain't playing spoons on our thigh. She ain't doing that. So to look at things like that to try to disqualify someone as being a president is just crazy. Just crazy. Okay. Now, if that happens, what do you think Donald Trump is going to do against the United States Constitution? What do you think the war? What do you think the war Donald Trump would put up? Okay? Think about the war. What do you think? What type of war Trump will put up? Come on now. He will challenge the United States Constitution so much that you may have people who go hunting. It might be open hunting season in America because it might go there to the purge. We got a lot riding on this, people. There are countries that want to deal with us, but Biden was, there. There are countries that wanted to deal with us, but Trump was doing some weird stuff. You got to take it back to like the Queen of Sheba, Joan of Arc, people like that, to where the men respect and represent the woman as being the commander of wherever they're coming from. The closest thing I think we had was Mother Teresa or Oprah. Oprah give out gifts almost every show to everybody, but that's another thing. I think Mother Teresa. I think Mother Teresa was probably the last well-known, respected, worldwide figure that other countries actually listened and paid attention to. I think Mother Teresa might have been the last one. Yeah, because I don't think Princess Diana. I don't think she had to pull because Queen Elizabeth was still alive. Queen Elizabeth, and wasn't nobody. She even kept the men in check. Ain't none of you guys ruling this. Wasn't no kings. Queen Elizabeth said, "No kings. I am the queen." They said, "Hail the queen." Look at how well that country came out while hailing the queen. They do have parliament. They do have everything, but oh, Emilia said she was a princess. So yeah. Diana wasn't running nothing over Elizabeth under the queen, but they did use Diana for battered women and child adoption and raising money for children around the world. They did use her. They did use her for that. They did use Diana for that cause. Okay. You guys got to understand that we are about to see something historical happen in the United States. And you may think I sound stupid that I think it's going to happen. If this was a Vegas bet where I can go bet on this, you know what? I don't know how much I would try. I ain't trying to be the richest man in the world, but I bet 100. I'm pretty sure 100 on Kamala Harris to win the presidency. 100 might get you at least 5 racks or something. I'm guessing that. Put the bet odds up in Vegas. Let's see where they're hitting at. You might be able to win some big money on that. But then you got to think about this: that if a female president is elected, are they gonna do something behind the scenes like you're really not running the country? We have all these men, generals, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We got Green Berets, we got SEAL Team 6, we have Rangers, we have the best of the best, and ain't no woman go be the drill sergeants and staff sergeants, and ain't none of y'all go be running this. What if they had something down like that yeah, you just go be up there, but really ain't nothing gonna happen? What if because we have a female president of the United States with civil war decide to have a coup to overthrow the female president? What if Donald Trump ignites that. Just think, people, this is all imaginary land. This is all imaginary land. What if Donald Trump ignites that? That would be so major. That would be so major. His lifestyle is already crazy enough as it is. That would be one of the craziest things you would ever see. All right, people, we're on right now. Thank you for tuning in to Hot Facts with Robert Reese, the midnight hour. We're going to do some station identification right now. Brother.
Yes, because Robert Reese is Hot Facts. Hot Facts is the official news station of the gig economy. I say that everybody knows that he's the official news station of the gig economy. He does all genres. He does delivery, food. He does real life. He does music. He does social stuff. He does government, political conversation. So for Robert Reese to be on this live stream, to me, it's major. It's major to me because this guy is somebody who would take, like you said, images and everything you do from your channel. And he has a much broader audience than I got. I mean, this dude, Robert Reese, is running 2-3 million views on shit all the time. The dude's his shorts go viral nonstop. No matter where he touches stuff on Facebook, Instagram, he touches stuff on TikTok. Whatever he touches is going to go nuts. So when I tell you, when you take pictures of the faces of these people fighting for this money, somebody who's upset that they got to move out of their apartment because of Uber and Lyft screwed them over, Robert Reese would take that and run with it. And then.
Yes, sir. Mic drop BBQ. If you are someone that is trying to run your own business, run your own fleet of vehicles, you wanna be a taxi man that has the best service out there. You work with high class clientele. You want to learn how to get your money, run your business, do everything the right way without costing you an arm and a leg that's going to hurt you in the wrong way. Make sure you go check out Mike Drop BBQ. And when you go to his live stream, make sure you tell him Hot Facts with Robert Reese sent you in. People, it is all like that. We get it going on. Check him out. Now, I want to get back to, what we talking about right here. Now, let's get in. I don't want to go with the Israel thing. I'll go with this one. I want to go with the inflation, okay, jobs, gig apps, and U.S. veterans, okay? I want to talk about this. And I want to talk about it now primarily because the elections are about to be going on, and these are things that we got to talk about. Inflation always, people. Inflation. Big Mac should not cost that much. We just realized that the rubber inflation just had to go ahead and get a new tire on the car, and the price went up at least $10 per for the tire to go ahead and get that in. So inflation is going up, and it's going up with also if you are all right. We got a lot of people thinking that they are living out of control, balling because they shop at Temu. Temu, shop like a billionaire. Shop like a bill. Yeah, y'all know the song. I sing it in my head all day. Everyone's going to Temu, right? You get a 600-piece socket set where you can fix anything you want for like $3, right? So everyone is going to Temu to go ahead and get your stuff, right? But what you're not realizing is this: it may cost cheap on what you think, but then it's got to get shipped from China, come over here. You got to wait all this stuff. They want you to go ahead and say pay for extra speed delivery. You're spending a whole lot of money there because look, you think everything is cheap. You ain't thinking about I want to get it faster. I only spent like $5. I'm gonna get it faster. Let me spend the extra 15 on top of that 5 I spent. You're doing that nonstop. The inflation game is crazy, people, and they're using it for the things that you use every day. Look at staples, pencils, pens. Look at the cost of water. Look at what they are doing with the plastic bottle situation. They're now charging an extra 10 cents for bottles. And then alcohol, they're doing that too. They're charging an extra 10 cents. They're charging extra money on things that you never have to pay for in a grocery store. They are taxing you on all of the little things that make it like when you look and go buy your clothes, I'm getting it for that for just that cheap, but you're not realizing that you're spending a whole much on the inflation. Now, I tell you guys, most corporations and businesses work by the cent, by the penny. Okay? By the penny. They make all their money off of pennies. So just think about this. How many millions of people we have in the United States? If we just charge them pennies every single day for everything that they buy, and you put that this one person paid this much tax all day, think of all the money coming in. Think about that. That's something that Kamala Harris has to tackle because of these gig apps, because of the robot situation and what's going on phones. More of America will be, okay, using a phone in your hand to do work. How you doing, Jeff Thomas Black? Glad to have you back. Go check out JTB, Jeff Thomas Black. My man is an author, a publisher. My man is an activist and everything, civil rights also. Everyone's going to have a phone in their hand and doing the logistics part. So while people are leaving the factories and the robots are taking over, they're going to be going into this new realm of what we call the workforce. The president is going to have to tackle this problem. Nationwide, we have in California, Proposition 22. In Washington, they have a minimum wage guarantee with medical benefits there. You get sick time if you're off and everything. They got things out across other places. In New York, they have a guarantee minimum to where the people are going to make like the $30 an hour. They have it in places around. They also have in Wisconsin, it is Wisconsin, I do believe. The whole state is going to be earned by time and guaranteed everything. All right. The whole country of Australia has did that. They moved their political thing into go that, and now they're fighting over if that's going to be good. But the whole world is going to move into the mechanical industry. So we're going to have people on their phones. Okay. So we got to talk about that. They got to focus on that because we're going to have majority of the workers working in their own vehicles, their own everything. Now, I know the corporations, you have the ability to have that, but they're going to have to redo new tax laws, new tax things that put, if you are a gig worker, how they did the PPP loan, you were able to get a PPP loan if you were driving for any of the gig apps. A lot of the gig apps, people didn't know that. I let them know, but they ignored it. They could have got them 30,000 racks and all that by how much, if someone was making 100,000, 150,000 a year on the gig apps, they were going to give you like 40,000, 50,000, and you didn't have to pay it back. Okay, because you were essential also. You got to understand that. They got to focus on the tax credits. There has to be a tax credit now coming in that if you are using your own vehicle for your 1099, there's a tax credit, not just writing off the miles and everything else. There should be a tax credit, how they have a marriage credit, how they have a child credit, since majority of the United States, the people in the workforce will be using their own vehicles. Now, it might work like that because we got people that have fleets. They have fleets of vehicles. So you got to understand that people like we may need a credit for your vehicle. Now they may do something to where if you drive this much or this much, you get this much or that much. Like in California, if you drive a certain amount of hours, you get this much of a healthcare stipend. And if you work this many hours, you get that much. It's like $600 and something, and then $1,272 for the full. You get an extra $5,000 per year to help you with medical benefits and things like that. We have that here in California, but the new presidential elect, in order to make America happy with the jobs going in like this, you have to do this. There are people that are afraid to go work in regular places because they're gay. They're gay guys, gay men, they're transgender. So they want to go do the gig app so they can be their own boss and drive, but they don't have the protection with everything else in all the in these other states. But we do have a medical portal, a benefits portal that is going out there so the drivers can go out and get those things. But there needs to be an hourly guarantee for those drivers to make it seem like it makes sense for them, so that they can afford that. So the next presidential elect is going to have to tackle that problem right there. Okay, you're watching Hot Facts with Robert Reed, the midnight hour. We speak about everything here on the Hot Facts with Robert Reed podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to this great information here. Now, what else is going to happen is, all right, I know we're tired of hearing of this. Roe v. Wade, state versus Fed control, term of process, all this other stuff. But we already know that Trump and Biden will not be fighting over this because Biden is out. We do know that there could be a black female president and there could be a female Hispanic vice president relatively soon. Okay, relatively soon. I'm not saying Kamala is gonna, I'm not saying who and this and that, who they put in for now and then replace. I'm not saying. I'm just saying that very soon they may not be on the same term. We may have a Hispanic woman as vice president to a man, or if she does win and she's on 2 terms, you never know. Vice President male might say, I can't take this. I can't work under a woman. And you know who else can work under a woman? Another woman. And that might happen. I'm just saying. So if that is the case, if that is what we got going on, we got to talk about the Roe v. Wade. We got to talk about this. I was in Stater Brothers earlier, and they were talking about lunch pails, and the bagger guy was talking about lunch pail, and he was talking about the new school stuff. I said, what you know about lunch pail? I said, we had lunch pails. I said, I'm from the 80s. I said, we had lunch garbage pail kits and everything, lunch pails, and we had a thermos on the inside, and if your parents were still cool enough, you had the tin one. And the cashier was like, yeah, the tin one. Now I said, I might be old to you guys and ancient. I'm 42. Dude at the back said, yeah, that is old. He said, my mom is 42. He said, I'm 29. Now check this out. Do the math, y'all. Do the math. 42 and 29. That's a young teen having a kid, and he still thought that was ancient. He's almost as ancient as his mom, but he thought we were ancient. So just think about this. Just think about this. We got that stuff going on out there. Okay? We got that stuff going on. But you got to think about this. When you're dealing with kids with lunch boxes and things like that when they go to school, a female president might make the meal plan better for the kids in school. The female president might make teachers get paid more. And on top of that, they may give the woman the full choice to have over their body and full control. Even though I'm a man and I feel you can't go do that without the man knowing and agrees. I feel that as a man. But if there's a woman in office, that may be taken away to where the woman now has full control. And to think about it, why would a woman not put that in? They said we've been controlled by men this whole time. James Brown said, this is a man's world. But it will be nothing without a woman or a girl. Now think about that. He said it's a man's world because we the president. What if the president was a female? This situation right here would be, there would have to be massive votes to go in to have the states to be able to have full control over their own state, because some states would say that we don't want a woman to decide for us because it's not right. But then if that does come to be, all those women who are on girl power are going to vote for the female presidential elect. It don't matter, black vote, white vote. Girl power does not have a black or white on it unless you are a racist. Plain and simple. We know there's a lot of racist white folk out there who are women. There's a lot of racist black folk out there who are women. But we do know that when it comes to girl power, girls will stick together no matter what. So you know that when they tell guys, the promoters of clubs will tell the guys, yeah, come to the club. Man, it's like 5 women to every guy. They tell them that. So just think about it like this. If those are the odds, if it's 5 girls to every guy, think who would win the election if girl power was all the way in. Just think about that. If those are the odds, think about how easy it would be for a woman to win. Think about the countries around the world where, like the Middle East, women don't have no power at all. Like they like beat them and get them out. Like you cannot do anything. All those families of those women who live in the United States, the people who were afraid to vote, but now they live here, those women will vote for the woman because they will see that in America, though the woman is liberated. And then they will get all those extra votes for the female elect. Just imagine that. A lot of y'all don't want to hear this, but it could be true. People, there could be more Starbucks on every corner. Imagine how terrible that would be for a guy. I'm telling you, there's going to be female head coaches in dominant male sports. But you know what else is going to win? The WNBA. Now, you guys do know that about 70% of the WNBA is gay. Okay? 70% of the WNBA is gay. Check this out. There is and I'm not going to give any names. I don't want nobody to go ahead and search. There's a WNBA player whose ex-wife is a player and a coach in the league now, and the new fiance is a new player. You will never hear in the NBA there's a guy messing with another guy and the other guy is on the court. Now, they allow that in the WNBA all the way. There's nothing wrong with it. They allow that. But since a woman will be president, just imagine all those extra votes going in because it's all acceptable. Men, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. A new era is about to happen, people. We're at the times in biblical era to where shit is about to hit the fan. I can't say if it's a good thing or a bad thing. What I said in that podcast with Eli McMillan, I said that if we had a first gentleman, not a first lady, countries would disrespect us and we might get bombed. I said that on the record. I said that. Now, if the first gentleman was gay, you know, guy on guy, I don't think anything would happen. First gentleman to a woman, I think something will happen. The other countries will be coming to greet the president, and the husband got to stand in the back and nod his head down. Do you know how that right there would look to that proud man in the other countries in the United States? That's what I think. That's just my opinion, though. But do I think it'll be a bad thing for the economy? Heck no. I think women run the money a little bit better than the men because we would have better people growing up in our society that will make something of themselves. Meaning that, like I said, the nutrition program would be better in school. The fitness program would be better in school. There would be more parents involved in school with their kids if there was a female president. I think because of that, grades will be higher. Kids will have the ability to show their smarts and to go and start their own businesses to make America great again. I do believe that with men, every man is freaking dirty and hungry for the money and the cash all day, every day. We got women out there doing it out here in Maywood and Bell Gardens. We had back in the day. We had the whole city council. There was a lot of Hispanic women on there, and with the men, they were taking all the money. The women were like, we were tired of them taking all the money, so we took more than them. They all got caught and went to jail. But the women said they've been doing it for a long time, so we gonna take more than them. But that got into that got into the system. Okay, that got into the system of the government in the city section, the county section, and it all the way went up to the state. But outside of those small little bad apples in the tree, I do think that the economy would probably be a little bit more loving. You know how in the Bible it says, love thy neighbor and all that stuff. I think that if women were, if the women were in charge as far as being president, I think you would see more neighbors speaking to each other. Okay, more neighbors speaking to each other, and I think it would stop the girl on girl violence because women just hate each other for no reason. I think if there was a woman president, it'll stop a lot of that, but at the same time, we'll get a few more bad apples that want to be the main boss, and then they may walk around at their job at McDonald's thinking they the president. I'm saying that may happen. You out there flipping burgers and giving fries, and you walking around just talking about you the president. That's gonna happen. You will get that. Just like we got these men. We got men that are used car salesmen that think they're the president of the United States. Dude wearing that cheap polyester suit, but he watched Donald Trump and say, "I'm in power, bitch." That's what he do. We got those bad apples too, and they'll sell you a lemon. But you won't get a lemon at Toyota of Orange County, people. Go check it out. Tell them Hot Facts sent you in. I don't know, y'all. We have a lot to think about. But you got to understand that if we have a first black female president, first of all, I think the food at the dinner, when at the inauguration, I think the inauguration meal will be cooked the best. They'll be like, man, y'all had all these fake ass chefs in there. I could cook my own food. I'm just saying. Could y'all imagine my mom being a president and talking about she gonna taste all the food? Nah, we ain't serving that. She gonna call Aunt Lou and Ann and Guadalupe. Miss Guadalupe go bring her punch. Miss Guadalupe go be there with the punch. It'll be an all-woman staff cooking all that food. Remember Bubba Gump? Bubba Gump said my mama was cooking shrimp. My mama before her mama was cooking shrimp. My mama before her mama was cooking shrimp, and they were all cooking for all the white families and the men in power. Could you imagine the meal tasting that good? Now, if you head to Destination Smokehouse here in Murrieta, they call that tendernism. The tendernism is great. Tell them Hot Facts sent you over there too. I'm telling y'all, we got stuff to think about. This podcast was on for about an hour, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning on in. Just think about what'll happen if this stuff does happen. I'm gonna do it like this and leave you guys with a little bit of music, okay? Because look, you gotta work. You gotta get it done. Vote for the right person, and don't be lazy because Evan said we need success. Navy 380.
You love success. And I'm here to tell you today, if you're going to be successful, you've got to be willing to give up sleep. You got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you really want to be successful, some days you will have to stay up 3 days in a row. Because you got to be willing to work off for 3 hours of sleep, 2 hours. If you don't want it badder than you want to party, you don't want it as much as you want to be cool. Most of you don't want success. You don't want it badder than. I don't know how many of y'all got asthma in here today, but if you ever had an asthma attack before, you short of breath, SOB, shortness of breath, you wheezing. The only thing you trying to do is get some air. You don't care about no basketball game. You don't care what's on TV. You don't care about nobody calling you. You don't care about a party. The only thing you care about when you're trying to breathe is to get some fresh air. I'm not eating like I eat at home. That's why you're about to go to the next level. Because if you keep eating like you ate at home, you'll keep being a boy or a girl.